to the final furlong. Bravazzo's down the center of the track, and then Audible on the inside, who's now up in a third. Justify, a 2-length lead as they come to the final 16. Good Magic on the outside is second. Audible third toward the inside, then in Still Regard, they're coming to the wire. He's just awesome! Justify has won the Kentucky Derby!
All right, welcome back to Racing Rundown. It's time for the long-awaited Kentucky Derby winner prediction video. I'm going to be revealing who my picks for this year's Kentucky Derby are. I know I've been doing the series of why horses won't win the Kentucky Derby, taking a look at all 22 horses that are eligible to run in the Kentucky Derby this year. Of course, there are only 20 that make it to the gate. 2 are alternates in case of a scratch of some reason. I have been doing that, and I will still do that after this video, but I did want to make this because a lot of people have been asking me, you know, this is all fine and well and good to be doing this, but who do you actually think is going to win? And I wanted to make this too. I was originally going to wait until Tuesday, and the actual segment of this will probably air in the podcast itself, which is going to be dropped tomorrow. But I did want to reach out to the YouTube base because I do have a larger viewer base on YouTube than I do on iTunes and Spotify. If you are not a subscriber or a listener to the podcast itself, you can go subscribe to it on iTunes, Spotify, wherever else podcasts are found. But without further ado, let's get started. No BS. This is honest takes on each of the 22 horses that are right now eligible to run in the Kentucky Derby. Like I said, the 21st and 22nd horses are alternates in the event of a scratch. I do not think a scratch is going to happen. Let me just refresh you on the 22 horses that do have the ability to run. I don't know, maybe you haven't checked who's running, or maybe you haven't seen my other videos. So let's first go down the points leaderboard. I'm not going to say how many points each horse has because that's going to take forever, and at this point the number of points don't really matter. So the horses in the field are Tacitus, trained by Bill Mott, ridden by Jose Ortiz. Omaha Beach, trained by Dick Mandela, ridden by Mike Smith. Vicoma, trained by George Weaver, ridden by Javier Castellano. Plusque Parfait, trained by Brennan Walsh, ridden by Ricardo Santana Jr. Roadster, trained by Bob Baffert, ridden by Florent Giroux. By My Standards, trained by Brett Calhoun, ridden by Gabriel Saez. Maximum Security, trained by Jason Service, ridden by Luis Saez. Game Winner, trained by Bob Baffert, ridden by Joel Rosario. Code of Honor, trained by Shug McGahee, ridden by Johnny Velasquez. High Call, trained by Kieran McLaughlin, ridden by Rajiv Mirage. Improbable, trained by Bob Baffert. Bob's last horse in the Derby, ridden this time by Irad Ortiz. War of Will, trained by Mark Casse, ridden by Tyler Gaffleone. Long Range Toddy, trained by Steve Asmussen and ridden by the elder statesman, 58-year-old John Court. Tax, trained by Danny Gargan and ridden by Junior Alvarado. Cutting Humor, trained by Todd Pletcher, is the one horse in the Kentucky Derby that does not have a rider yet. I texted Jay Privman yesterday, and I said, Jay, do you have any idea who's running? And he told me, not officially, but I'll let you know once we have an official rider. So what that tells me is, with Cutting Humor, that there are a couple of riders that are picked out. It just has not been official, or I shouldn't say picked out, that are kind of finalists, that it just hasn't been decided. Which, by the way, if you do not follow Jay Privman, go give him a follow over on Twitter at DRF Privman. I will tweet out a link to his Twitter account after this video is uploaded. Let's continue with the list. Michael Trombetta trains Win Win Win, ridden by Julian Pimentel. The 38-year-old will make his first ride in the Kentucky Derby this year. Flavian Pratt will make his third start in the Kentucky Derby. He rides Country House, trained by Bill Mott. And Manny Franco will ride Spinoff, trained by Todd Pletcher. And Julian Laperoux rides the mystery horse from Japan, Master Fencer. So that is your field with jockeys and trainers. Let's get into actually breaking down. And also, just to quickly note, Bodie Express is trained by Gustavo Delgado, and Signalman is trained by Kenneth McPeck. I don't really have the riders for those because there aren't riders picked out per se. We'll see if a rider is named for them. Probably not, because I'm sure the trainers and owners figure that they're probably not going to get in, so it's not really worth it. I do quickly want to mention right now the Kentucky Oaks.